the last couple of days, I've been watching a lot of videos on Stipe and Jon Jones to see if Stipe has a chance to actually beat Jon Jones. And now I'm ready to talk about it. And let's just start off right away. I don't think he's going to be able to beat Jon Jones. And we'll start off with the fights that I mainly want to focus on, and they're going to be Stipe's losses and Jon Jones versus Reyes and versus Gon. And we'll start off with his earliest loss in the UFC, I think, against Struve. And if you're not looking at the screen, everything that I'm going to be talking about is going to be based off of a right hand. And that is because if you go out and watch all of his fights, he gets hurt a lot because of the right hand. Sometimes he still puts up his guard to block, like a 1-2, but somehow the 2 sneaks in there somehow. It's or sometimes, he'll just get hit with the flush too with his left hand down. It's and it's I know Jon Jones is focusing on this, and he got actually TKO'd, by a right hand, and then 3 uppercuts by Struve. And I'm not gonna say that Jon Jones is gonna do that, obviously, but we're gonna talk about the next fight where you could see that DC. That's when DC slept Stipe. It was with the overhand elbow kind of thing, in the clinch. And that is actually what I think Jon Jones can do, picture perfect, better than DC can. And it's because he's going to be able to get into the clinch way easier than DC ever could. And, I see this happening to Stipe. We can also talk about, I know if you look back at the fight, it was if you're looking at the screen, it was a left straight as a power jab that dropped Stipe. But if you actually look at the fight, right before this, he actually got blinded because of a 2. He thought a 2 was coming, so he put his hands out the way he had them right here. But it was a fake 2, and then Ngannou used it to cover himself, to push himself off and go for a power jab. So, it was still based off of the 2. And what I'm saying is that left side of Stipe, I don't know if he doesn't see well. Maybe he doesn't see well, honestly. Who knows? He could be another Michael Bisping with only one eye or something. But on that left side, he's really bad at guarding his left side, especially from right punches. Like I said, this one wasn't from a right punch, but still, you get the idea. You could go back and watch it. He also, in the first round, he gets hit with a overhand right, and he barely sees it coming, barely. He still gets hit with it, though. And stuff like that, these guys aren't even throwing kicks the way Jon Jones is. Jon Jones is a heavy kicker. And if he knows he can hurt you with a right hand to the left side of the head, he's going to be throwing kicks to that side of the head, too. He's going to throw kicks down low, make your hands go low, kick you up top, We've seen him do it against Gustafsson. It's I saw it. And, now I guess enough of shitting on Stipe and why I just don't see... I see his flaws, that major flaw. It's Jon Jones focuses on flaws. We know he's watching the tape. He knows he can beat Stipe. And, the only things I could take from the Reyes fights and the Gustafsson fights was... not the Gon. I can't take nothing from the Gon fight. But with the Reyes fight, Jon Jones really... Oh, shit, my bad, y'all. Ha! Jon Jones, he struggled with the boxing, right? And Stipe does have the boxing. The issue is, every time that he actually was in trouble with the boxing, he would go for a takedown. And then, continue it. It would be a kickboxing type of fight for the majority of the fight. If Reyes would get close, even if he wouldn't get close, sometimes Jon would just go for a takedown from the distance, Stipe, the only one that he fought that was going heavy on takedowns like that in recent years has been DC, who is a lot shorter. The takedowns are gonna be completely different from a small little blob versus a guy your size. And yeah, I think that's definitely not gonna help Stipe. I think he will be getting, like, even in this fight with Reyes, like I said, like we had a lot of clinching going on. In the clinch against Reyes actually was doing pretty good, but I see the weaknesses of Stipe. He doesn't know how to guard his left side. And let's see, what else does he do? I mean, he has really good boxing. Like, if it was just a boxing fight, I would give it to Stipe, but it's not gonna be. And he doesn't have the footwork either of Reyes. Reyes was darting in there super fast. Stipe is gonna be a lot slower. He can dart in there too, but he might just lunge in there like Lyoto Machida, lunge into that right elbow, because, you know, he doesn't have good protection of his left side of his face, like I've said. And, you know, yeah, I could see, I'm going to predict Jon Jones drops him with a right elbow. Could be like either southpaw or orthodox stance. He likes to switch it up. But it will come over the top of Stipe's left hand, and Stipe will not guard it. He'll fall from it, maybe get TKO'd on the ground or submitted. And, I mean, that's kind of the conclusion I've come up with from watching. The main fights that I focused on were, like I said, the Stipe losses. So that includes Stipe versus Struve, Stipe JDS, Stipe versus Ngannou, the second fight, and DC, the first fight. And, you know, I saw a lot of right hands hitting him nonstop throughout all of these fights. Everywhere else he is really good. He's defensively sound. He's offensively really, really good. He doesn't throw a lot of kicks, but he throws leg kicks every now and then he mixes it up with the boxing. His boxing is really nice, but he has to get close for that. And I think if he tries to get close to Jones, he's gonna get clinched up. He could get elbowed. He could get taken down. He might be able to not get taken down, but he'll still be having to wrestle Jones up for 5 rounds up against the cage. And that's not Stipe's fight. You know, this isn't a winnable fight for Stipe. Which, if he ends up winning, I'm down to call him the greatest heavyweight in UFC history. And that's how, you know, I really don't think this is gonna happen for him. Everywhere, the only thing I can say actually is about the Gane fight is Jones did look slower, more sluggish than he did versus Reyes, and he said he still moves around fast like a light heavyweight, but it didn't look like it from what the small little moments like the minute that we saw his stand up. It didn't look like he was as fast and as fluid as he was before. Stipe actually, he looked faster in my opinion, if we're going like, you know, like punch speed and like movement and stuff. But the thing is, Jones is gonna still be really good at the managing distance, at throwing kicks, at clinching up whenever they do end up fighting, whenever they do exchange in the, you know, up close in the boxing. And that's gonna ultimately take away Stipe's greatest tools. And so yeah, I mean, I got it, Jon Jones, probably due to a submission, dropping Stipe with the elbow on the side of his head. Yeah, let me know what you guys think though. Does Stipe actually have a chance to beat Jon Jones? I think he doesn't.